Greg Hunter, go ahead.
So Jordan, hey, just, in terms of getting used to a new role, you'd had coming off the bench last couple games, you're starting, differences for you, or you just do what you do?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a difference in terms of my minutes. Just coming off the bench, a little bit more difficult to get into a rhythm and stuff like that. And I knew at that time, a lot of things have changed with this team. Not only COVID, but we've had obviously, the whole Oscar thing, and a lot of stuff has changed. Our whole dynamic has changed. So in the beginning of the year, I was just trying to fill a role. Whether I liked it or not, I just knew I needed to do whatever I needed to do to help the team win and what Hugs needed me to do. And then that role changed, through COVID, through, the leaving of Oscar and all that stuff. So, it's not easy coming off the bench, when you feel like you've put in time and you want to be out there. Obviously, every single one of our players wants to be out there. But, my pops just kept telling me, stay ready. So that's all I've done.
John Antonik.
Jordan, I haven't studied this, but I've read this, that you guys offensively are scoring more since Oscar left. Why do you think that is? I don't have any proof to say that, but it just looks like you've been able to score more. Why do you think that is?
No, I don't necessarily know if it, points per game might be up and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, Oscar is a hell of a player. I mean, he's a McDonald's All-American for a reason, and I wish nothing but the best for him. But with him, stepping away, what that does is, this entire season, I don't think, there's not a coach in the country, whether it's Hugs or Calipari or anybody down the line, that would see Derek and Oscar on the same team and not be like, we have to play both of them. Because who do you tell? You either tell an All-American with Derek that he's going to come off the bench, or you tell a McDonald's All-American who also has a chance to be an All-American in college that he's going to come off the bench in Oscar. So you had to play this, kind of difficult situation where I think, we got off the slower starts. We definitely weren't as fluid offensively. If you put two 7-footers, 6'10", 6'8", whatever, two really big guys on the floor at the same time, they take up a lot of space in the lane, and it becomes kind of a slower, grinded out pace. Now we have Derek down there, and he works really well in space. He sees the floor really well. He's not even really a true 5. I don't think he would even tell you that. But the floor is more space. A block is open. Driving lanes are now open. The floor is more spread. I would venture to guess that's the reason why, points per game are going up. I think offense efficiency is probably higher. Now we just got to try to find a way to mend our rebounding issues that we have at times.
Yeah, you mentioned the spacing. That's also opened up the ability for you guys to shoot outside a little bit easier, I guess, too, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, spacing is incredibly important in the game of basketball. And that's what I mean. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You want spacing, but who are you going to, take out of the starting lineup between Oscar and Derek? I don't blame Hugs for not doing it, because I don't think I would, or any coach would at any time, say that we're going to bring one off the bench. We just had to do it. So.
Evan Kinder.
Hey, Jordan, with these changes, Coach Huggins says you're still the guy that knows the offense inside and out. When you know something should come open, some action, some cut, some pass, is there sometimes a temptation to throw a pass there, even though it might not be open, because you're saying, hey, this should be open, because that's what we designed it to do?
Yeah, I think a lot of, I watch film with Jawan Staten on an almost daily basis now. We break different things down, just especially now with my minutes being in a little different situation than they were in the beginning of the year. My impact can be greater. So we watch film, and I think what you're alluding to is sometimes I have a tendency to try to squeeze a pass in there that's maybe not there, or I see something that, other people might not see. I've always been that way. I don't think Hugs necessarily wants to completely change who I am as a player. He's never tried to do that with me, but he has tried to shore up some of those unforced turnovers. So the 1 in transition, 2 in transition to Derek, those aren't even, with me knowing the offense, I know what comes open at what time, who should get the ball at what place. But really, that's generally not my issue as much as it is just trying to make something happen when it doesn't need to happen. So that's just something that we'll continue to work on for sure.
Justin Jackson.
Hey, Jordan, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. The game the other night, Monday night, I think you had assists on maybe the first 2 or 3 possessions of the game, and then obviously you started contributing scoring. Just kind of talk about. I mean, it was a pretty good start for you, and what that what that does for you, not only for confidence in that game, but also moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, even bringing it back to K-State, my first start this season, it was just something to build off. I didn't shoot it that well at K-State, but I just tried to find myself in a rhythm. Getting other guys going early is my job as a point guard. So if I throw it to Derek, and as long as Derek finishes it, as I'm looking at him right here shooting free throws, we get off to a good start and try to play inside out.
Is he making them?
He made his first one. Hold on, I'll tell you if he makes this one. He's super good.
I don't.
Cody Nesper.
Hey, Jordan. So last year, Chase was always the guy that Huggins would talk about as knowing the system really well and knowing where to get guys and stuff like that. And this year, that's how he's kind of been talking about you. Do you feel like you've taken over that role? Is that something that you've deliberately done, or is that just happening kind of passively?
I don't know if it's a deliberate role that I've taken over, but from the moment I stepped on campus, I needed, 2 things. I needed the laminated, play sheet that Hugs has over with him during the game, and I needed a disc that I could pop into, my TV at home in my dorm and just all the plays. So I went through them all, tried to find out just where things come open and learn the offense as well as I could have, and try to just be an extension of Hugs. Derek just airballed the free throw, by the way. But I tried to learn it the best I could, and I knew that was my role. I'm a point guard, and I want to be as pure a point guard as I can possibly be. And yeah, taking over as a leadership position is generally an upperclassman's job, but this is something that I've been trying to work on and hone for the past 2 years of my career.
Ethan Bach.
Hey, Jordan, how much did Monday's game really amp you guys up? Because we saw all the post-game stuff, but has there been a different vibe around this week?
Well, in this program, it's not even a week to week. It's a game to game type of tone. When you have a coach like Bob Huggins, who truly, he cares about winning more than anything else, just because he wants us to reflect well on this state. Yeah, Monday's game was great, but to be honest with you, if we win by 20 at K-State and we win by 1 at home against Tech, those wins are just wins. At the end of the day, that's what we chalk them up as. Yeah, there's a little bit more weight to certain games like Texas Tech, but the tone is really good right now, and winning generally makes everything better.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Jordan, Hugs talked about their athleticism and their ability to get points in transition. What are some of the things that you got to do to slow down Florida on Saturday, you think?
Scoring helps. Scoring definitely helps. You put the ball in the hole, and they generally don't get out on those quick breaks. Other than that, we work on transition defense and offense every single day, probably more than some guys would enjoy to do. But that's the name of the game in our conference and the SEC is score and score fast. So we know what they want to do. We have our way of defending the transition break. Hugs has done this for so long and truly realizes what the best way is to slow that down. So we're just going to execute offensively and defensively.
Thanks.
Justin Jackson.
Hey, Jordan, I was asking Coach about this earlier, and obviously, when you throw something together like the Big 12 versus the SEC, people kind of take off with that and stuff. Obviously, you guys are focused on Florida. But do you care about the other 9 games, your conference against their conference from a player's perspective? Do you even think or even look at the scores of the other games?
Yeah, like last year, Kentucky played Tech, I believe, at Tech. I watch a few of them. I don't get too wrapped up into it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's all just a subgroup, and we would like to see the Big 12 do better, just because we know how good of a league this is and how hard it is to win in our league. It's just a little bit of a bragging right thing. I don't think it carries a ton of weight, but you never know, postseason and what the committee takes into consideration. We would like to be held as a Big 12 group as the best conference in the country.
Okay, one last question. Mike, go ahead. Mike?
Are we there now?
Yeah,
All right, cool. Hey, the stuff you mentioned about the offense with Derek and Oscar, I get. And when you move a big out and you put someone smaller in, you're going to go 4 out in the perimeter more. For a guy like you, there's more screening and you got guys motioning and cutting and getting open for a guard. I don't know if fun is the right word, but does fun make a bit of a more difference and get to the points per game and the points per possession that you're seeing here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be, completely upfront and honest about it. I do enjoy our offensive scheme and style right now. Not only do I enjoy it, it seems as though the entire team does. There's more flow. There's more high tempo. It's probably, I would imagine, sitting at home, more fun to watch. I'm not sure. That could be a biased answer, but it is nice playing in that. And to be honest, the fact that, a 35, 40-year plus coach and Hall of Famer and Hugs to have the ability to have done something for so long offensively and still twine that with what we're doing now and kind of like a 4-out or even 5-out ball screen motion. It just speaks volumes to his coaching ability, to be honest. He took it with right in stride. Oscar left, and well, now we got to find a new way to really be efficient on the offensive end. But I still want to play inside out. We have an All-American with Derek. It wouldn't make sense to do anything differently. So it's a huge testament to Hugs, to be honest. Once again, he's proven how great of a coach he really is, and being able to change our offense just slightly, but still maintain its integrity. So it's been fun.
Hey, thank you, Jordan.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you put anything out there on video, tell people Sean McNeil, my lip normally doesn't look like this. He hit me with his elbow. Thanks, guys.